This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. There you are. How you feeling, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm sorry, I'm not in a place where I've got Wi-Fi access, so I'm here in the car trying to hold it down, make sure you don't have any interruptions.
All right, no, it sounds good. Was the daughter's birthday yesterday good?
Yeah, man. I'm just enjoying every little moment of her learning and developing and talking. We're actually planning a smaller birthday party later on in March. It's just a joy to do it. I got a 21-year-old, for those who don't know. I got a stepdaughter who's 30, 21-year-old, and now my 2-year-old. And it's such a joy to do it when you kind of have an understanding of what it's about and the moments that you'll enjoy and remember later. Yeah,
no, it was cool. It was cute watching the social media posts with her there, enjoying the day yesterday. Let me bounce around a little bit on the NFL side before I go to the Dolphins. Michael Irvin ended up winning in court that they're releasing the video. This thing smells like, I don't know how much you've been following it. Like Marriott's been wanting to throw it out of court. They don't want to release the video. You know, now they're forced to release the video after 2 judges now have forced them to, because they took it to another judge. And Marriott is even like not taking responsibility, like saying, well, they only use our name in this hotel, you know, that kind of stuff. And I kind of feel bad for Michael Irvin right now. You know what I mean? Because if he did commit a crime or whatever, he was insulting to that woman, and you're Marriott, you want to show the video, right? I mean, why is such hesitation? It just smells dirty, dude. You know what I'm saying? I might be wrong, but it just, you know.
I don't know what the real situation is on this incident, but what I do know is we never scream somebody's innocence as loud as we scream about their guilt. And, you know, that man could potentially have lost his career again, because this is probably the time number 3. He could have potentially lost his career. And it's not fair. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to even the woman. Let's let the legal process play itself out. Now, why Marriott doesn't want to get involved, but there are cameras everywhere. And you would think the cameras are there to protect from a crime or prevent a crime, or to prove somebody's guilt or innocence in regards to a crime. So this is something that literally blows my mind.
I feel bad. And listen, Michael has the same energy he had the last time he was innocent, that the media went after him. And I don't know if you remember that moment where he says, all right, use the same energy you used to you know, say I'm guilty. And he was like calling out the media at that moment. And he was innocent. And you know how it is, Omar. When you're innocent, you'll scream to high heaven. You'll stand on every mountain, on every building, and say, "I'm innocent." You know what I mean?
If your lawyers allow you. Allow you.
Right. But the lawyers and Michael have done nothing but that. Like, they have been adamant about this. That's why, to me, when I see the delay on the other side, the people making the accusations, that's like, you know, I just found it kind of weird. The other one is Jalen Carter is back at the combine now after this DUI mess and crash that killed a couple of people. Your thoughts on this whole thing? Because this is a guy that was, you know, he's considered one of the, if not the top pick in the draft, at least top 3.
My thoughts are, why does this come to a head the week of the NFL Combine? I think that's foul. Now, it's not like the incident just happened. Also, on top of that, I'm a little bit troubled and perplexed as to why people are pretending like, oh, this is going to absolutely tank his draft stock. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. And neither should his draft stock. He's going to be selected relatively high. And He's going to have the opportunity to play in the NFL, and his career is going to be made on his performance. But, you know, it's a slow news cycle, so everybody's making a tremendously big deal about this. Should he have returned to the combine? Absolutely, because it's a major job interview, and there are 32 teams who are curious and want to hear from him in regards to what he has to say on the matter.
Right. Yeah. No, and I know he was racing with them, so he might have been a contributor, but he wasn't necessarily the one that crashed the car, and obviously, you know, people died. So I get the technicalities behind it, but it is hey, listen, it reminds us of the La'el Collins story back in the day when he was accused of murder or something, I think it was, and he wasn't, and he was innocent, and yet his draft stock went down from what was it, like the 5th or 6th round from the 1st round, I think, if I remember correctly, right?
No, La'el Collins went undrafted. I remember I was begging Steve Ross to draft him, and their fear was that, oh, you know, the media is going to come down on us. Right. I'm like, no, I'm the media. I'm not going to come down on you. Draft him in the 3rd day.
And by the way, if I remember correctly, I think Tannenbaum worked for the agency that was representing Collins, right, before he took the Dolphins job, right?
Correct. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that was crazy, and he was innocent at that time from all of that. All right, prediction time, Omar. Lamar Jackson wants a fully guaranteed contract, as much as what Deshaun Watson got, or maybe even more. Will Lamar Jackson end up with a fully guaranteed contract, or will he end up tagged and held out and holding out?
He'll end up tagged. He won't receive a fully guaranteed contract, even though I think the Ravens do good business. I just don't think they want to set the precedence. Nobody in the NFL wants to set the precedence of fully guaranteed contracts for players. Deshaun Watson and Kirk Cousins are the only ones outside of rookies who've ever gotten it done. And if it's going to be done, it's going to be done by the quarterbacks. But people don't realize is there is no, excuse me 1 second, I'm signing something. What people don't realize is that there is only, in the NBA and in Major League Baseball and in the NHL, there's nothing in their CBAs, collective bargaining agreement, that says that players must have fully guaranteed contracts. It is the culture of those leagues, which has been dictated over time, that has created those environments for the players and their contracts. Now, unfortunately, the players in the NFL, they have not been allowed the opportunity because agents have not done what they needed to do, their due diligence, to get to that level of getting fully guaranteed contracts. But it has to be the quarterbacks. Russell Wilson has twice failed when it was his opportunity to get a fully guaranteed contract. The Patrick Mahomes could have gotten a fully guaranteed contract. He got $500 million, so I'm not even going to complain about that one.
Yeah. But by the way, that contract has become cap friendly.
Yeah, no, because of the way that it was structured, and it's like $500 million. So
it's only I hate to say it this way, but it's only $40 million a year for him.
Yeah, no, and he's won 2 championships. I think you're going to pay whatever you're going to pay. The same thing could be said about Buffalo's quarterback. He was in position to get a fully guaranteed contract. Nobody did it for him as well. So it's very uncomfortable for me to like sit here and say that, hey, I don't count their pockets, but they got to understand it's got to be the culture of the league. And I support Lamar in his efforts. I know, and I've dealt with Lamar, and I've dealt with his moms through I'm Athlete. And trust me, she's a hard negotiator, and she's a very good businesswoman. And you know, and Lamar is driving the business end of it, so he's determined to get what he feels like he deserves. And I'm very encouraged by what's happening here. Yes, everybody can sit here and debate that he doesn't deserve a fully guaranteed contract, but they got to understand he deserves more than what the next man got, and the next man is Deshaun Watson. So if he deserves more than what Deshaun Watson got, that's just the price of doing business in the NFL. That's the nature of the league.
That's why I asked you this way, because I believe also, like you do, he's not going to get a fully guaranteed contract, and I think he's going to be tagged but I really believe that he's going to end up holding out.
Yeah,
Do
he
you
probably
think?
is.
Yeah. Okay. So you feel the same way that he's not. I think it's so bitter, the situation now with him, and he's kind of locked into, well, wait a minute, if they gave him a fully guarantee, I deserve one too, and I've accomplished more than Deshaun Watson. Right? I know that's what he's saying. But I almost feel like this thing's gonna get pretty ugly between these two very soon.
It probably will, but I mean, this is the price of doing business, and I think he'll hold out, and it'll be interesting to see what happens, what comes from it. But that's just the nature of the league. It's about business. If you're going to sit here and you're going to argue that he doesn't deserve a fully guaranteed contract, that's not fair.
Yeah, but Omar, Deshaun Watson didn't deserve a fully guaranteed contract.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You don't think he deserves a fully guaranteed?
Deshaun Watson?
Or not?
No.
Oh, Deshaun didn't. Deshaun didn't.
That's my point. To use the guy that set the precedent when the precedent was set with the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's the problem there. And I think that's what everybody else is going to use as the example. Say, yeah, we get that he got a guaranteed contract, but nobody in their right mind would have given him a guaranteed contract. That was just stupid business by the Browns. That's basically what the other teams are saying about this. Basically, you know what I'm saying?
All it takes is one team. Let's say you're going to get paid what the market is going to determine that you're worth. Mm-hmm. Let's say they don't give him the exclusive franchise tag, which I think would be ridiculous. But then I also think it would be smart, because then you give another team an opportunity to negotiate the contract for you, and potentially you can get him on what the market feels is market value. And now the question is, if you don't want to pay that market value, then you're going to get compensation for him. I personally would not give him the exclusive rights tag. I would give him the tender that will allow me to get compensation for him, even though a quarterback's extremely hard to replace. If I'm not in love with him, then that's the reality of it. And then I'd let the market determine what he's worth, and then I'd sign him to whatever somebody negotiates him, because what people don't realize is you have a right of first refusal. So if they offer him, let's say, if they offer him a fully guaranteed contract, then okay, the market determined he's worth a fully guaranteed contract, and I'm going to sign him to that.
Right.
If they offer him something short of what the market guarantees because of the injury or the style of play or the durability concerns, I'm going to sign him to that. There's no way that I'm going to let him go. And if he wants to play on the franchise tag, so be it. If he doesn't want to play, then he's going to sit out. Then he's going to not have a year's toll. And basically, we're going to be here again next year. So,
all right. No, I'm with you there. All right, let's move on to Tua, because I got somebody coming up at 12:30 here. Yesterday, McDaniel, obviously Chris Grier talked about, everything is open on the table. And I'm trying to explain to people, I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this. They said, like, hey, we're everything's on the table long term. We're still talking about the 5th-year option or whatever. And I think for me, it's more about just spreading the love to Tua and his agent and everybody else. Like, hey, we believe in him, we love him and all that. But there really is no shot they give him a long-term deal. I think that was just Chris Grier just, reiterating how much they believe in the guy, that they believe in him so much that, sure, anything is on the table. The same thing as they tell you, oh, no, we don't turn down Mike Gesicki if he wants to come back, or Byron Jones, or we got to let Vic Fangio figure that out. Byron ain't coming back. Gesicki ain't coming back. And Tua has no shot right now at getting a long-term contract. Do you agree on all of those?
I disagree. I'm going to have the conversation. I'm going to have the dialogue. I'm probably going to put a 70 cents on the dollar offer on the table, explain why that's what it is. If he chooses to take it, so be it. I remember going back to the Ryan Tannehill when he was getting his 5th-year option, and then they wound up extending him, which I thought was the worst decision ever by the organization. And, it was like $98 million. And I thought at no point was he ever going to sign a contract until he had proven himself. And Tua, at this point, is more deserving of a contract than Ryan Tannehill is, of a big money contract than Ryan Tannehill is.
Well, because he proves that he can be a real franchise quarterback. You're right. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
But the layup, the easy decision is sign into a fifth-year option, say, hey, we'll revisit this in a year, but you got $26 million guaranteed coming to you next year. Altogether, throughout your career, you'll have made nearly $60 million. I think that's pretty good for 5 years.
Right.
It's fair. And we'll revisit this if you're the best player in the league, we'll pay you like you're the best player in the league. And if you're proven that you have durability concerns, we'll probably decide that we want to move on from you after the 5th year. So I don't see how that's not a layup, but I definitely have the conversation with them to see where their thought process is, because you got to keep in mind, the price is only going to go up if he's who we think he is.
Of course, right. If he stays healthy, then the price will get really scary. Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah,
right.
The price is going to be ridiculous. If Tua just flat out replicates what he did last year, the price is going to be ridiculous. And stays healthy.
Right.
Let's say you're the number 1 passer in the league and you led your team to the playoffs and you stay healthy for an entire season. You're talking $300 million, $260
million a year. Yeah, they'll be paying $50 a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. I'm with you there.
Why not try to get ahead of it? Not to say that you could sit here and whether you are a Tua hater, Tua supporter, Tua non-member, you can flat out say whatever you want to justify whatever decision that you have. But the truth of the matter is, we will know who Tua is at the end of the 2023 season. And
it's interesting you say offer a deal at 70 cents a dollar. Maybe Tua and the agents think, you know what, let's take some guarantees now and protect ourselves just in case, because a year from now, if you do suffer injuries, you already have your deal in place. If
you're protected. Yeah,
you're protected. So there might be I don't think they'll do it because Tua's kind of driven to prove people wrong. So I think he's going to drive to try to be healthy this year and prove to people he can have a complete year and all that kind of crap.
All it takes is one bad hit.
No, I know. I know. But he is.
But ultimately he'll get $26 million, and trust me, that should be enough money to take care of your family for a lifetime.
I'm with you there. I did think that Greer gave a little nugget yesterday, which normally you don't hear a lot of stuff. But he said that they would be interested in safety and linebacker. And obviously with Fangio coming in, it's more important than ever to have safeties and linebackers that can cover. So we've talked a lot about Brandon Jones possibly being at risk here because Brandon got better in coverage, but maybe not to the elite point that Vic Fangio needs both of his safeties to be at. So were you surprised that the general manager would say already, like, we could be interested in safeties and linebackers?
No, I think even if you have Brandon Jones on the roster, you're still exploring safeties and linebackers. I think Eric Rowe's a free agent as well. And you know how me and you, we go back and forth about Brandon Jones all the time. Coverage-wise, he's never going to be good. So,
but he got better last year. He got better.
Okay. You ignored the sentence that I said. Coverage-wise, he's never going to be good. Good. He got better.
I'm not ready to give you give up on him. I'm not ready to give up on the young man.
I'm evaluating him based on what his teammates tell me. So he's just not going to be that player that you think. I think it's an easy upgrade. It's an easy upgrade. You know who I'm thinking about. It's the young man who already said he wants to play.
He wants to be here. Yeah, no, he really wants to be down here.
Yeah, no, he trains at Bomberitos. I see him every off season. Yeah. He's here. He loves South Florida. South Florida Buffalo.
No, he wants Miami. That's for sure. Yes.
Absolutely. I say this all the time. 40% of the league lives down here in the off season. Like 40, but not down here, but in Florida. Tampa, Jacksonville, Orlando, Miami, South Florida. 40% of the league lives in Florida. 40%. That means you are going to have a great opportunity to land a lot of the top free agents, including a Poyer. And you just got to be creative enough to get it done if you want to get it done.
Poyer and Bobby Wagner?
I don't know. I think the Bobby Wagner Express has left.
Really? God, I like that one because that's only a 1 or 2 year deal. So
yeah, but I would rather go after the Levante David than Bobby Wagner.
Okay, that's another older linebacker. That's a 1 or 2 year deal. You're right. You're right about that.
Okay. I would rather go that route, or get a young linebacker.
You can't get Poyer and Edmonds. No, they're not going to be able to pay Wilkins. Sealer.
I said a younger linebacker.
You mean like in the 2nd and 3rd round picks?
Yeah. I'm not shy about drafting a line. And keep in mind also the trade market, and we don't know what teams are bartering and what we'll find out after the combine. We'll find out what linebackers are on the trading block, just like many linebackers that Miami's traded for when they traded for Bernard McKinney, and you'll things will pop free. We'll know shortly, and I think the Dolphins will be aggressive. If Chris Grier strategically put those positions out, then he's like, it's very obvious. I'm already talking to free agents about this. Like we're being very transparent. And I would love to add a safety because I think the young man that's back there now, if you free him up to do coverage, and you have a guy like Poyer who could do everything, it's going to be magnificent.
Oh no, Holland and Poyer would be. Oh my God, it would be an incredible duo right there. All right,
but even more important than safety, I think you got to address the other cornerback position.
Yes, I think they will. Although I think Kohu will be part of it, but that's where I think the 2nd and 3rd round picks come in. I think they could get another corner there.
I don't know if I want to take the risk of getting a Noah Igbenogany. I'm sorry.
No. Kader Kohu, bro. Kader Kohu's the guy.
He's all right.
He played fantastic for a young man, bro. He did a great job. He could get better too. I like the kid. His mental makeup he's special, bro. That kid's built the right way. All right, follow him on Twitter. Omar, as always, I appreciate you. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and catch him every week here, of course, with our EssentialMovingExperts.com Miami Dolphins Exchange. Omar, we'll catch up next week, my friend. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Thank you. That is your Miami Dolphins Exchange.
This is the Big O Show.